into the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan. Next to me in the booth are Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Last game for the Pacers, they pick up the W against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And it seems odd to say, given that they won it pretty easily, but they didn't look especially strong that day.
Yeah, and if you were watching the game without the benefit of a scoreboard, you'd have thought it was a lot closer than it was.
Here are the starters for Dallas, brought to you by State Farm. Mr. Incredible in its small forward.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my NBA 2K13 My Career with KB. Now starting small forward for the Dallas Mavericks. So as you can see, I'm finally in the starting lineup and right where I thought I was going to be at the small forward position. But look at that up and under. I am pretty small for this position. I believe I'm only 6'6". Maybe 6'5". Not a huge guy. Gonna have to guard some pretty big people. Obviously, my guy is built for a shooting guard position. So, at the small forward or power forward, however you want to call it, gonna come up against some much bigger people. Gonna be much harder to defend, especially when people try to back me down, because I really don't have no low post defense or offensive skills. I am an outside shooter. I dribble, penetrate, top step, and make baskets like that. I got all sorts of range. Inside, not very good, but get a couple good shots here. Use that up and under to my advantage. And use my speed and my quickness, and there I just give up a inside pass and a sweet dunk by that guy. But that's my game right there in a nutshell. Drive, back off, hop step, make space, hit an open jumper. That's my game, and it's a little bit more difficult to do that at the small forward position, just because you're not going to get the ball as much up at the top of the key if you were a obviously point guard, but my normal position, which is shooting guard. Typically, I'm off to the left or right of the point guard, and he's going to pass me the ball, let me dribble in, or find an open spot where he's going to hit me for a jumper. Doesn't happen nearly as often at the small forward position, just because you're supposed to be down a little bit farther under the basket. You know, not necessarily completely under the basket, but more so than a shooting guard. So not too bad of a start for my first game, but let's get into the press conference.
You guys really shot the ball poorly tonight, but somehow still managed to get the win. Does that make it bittersweet at all?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. It might mean we have a little extra to work on in practice tomorrow, but we'll take a win any way we can get it. There's more to the game than just great shooting anyway. And I like to think this team is versatile enough to cover a bad shooting night with good passing, crashing the boards extra hard, and playing strong defense. Again, all you got to do is make sure you outscore the other team. And that's what we did. Winning ugly is still winning, no matter how you look at it.
So not too bad of an answer there. I appreciate the guy who posted on my last video with what each button represents as far as your guy's attitude when he answers those questions. Definitely going to use that going forward. But they're a pretty sweet billboard. Defend your home court. I'm sure this happens to everybody in every single my career, but pretty cool how they integrate all that kind of stuff together and make it feel like you're actually immersed into the game, which is awesome. But hopefully you guys enjoy this double feature game, because we got a good 6 minutes left of this video that I gotta talk over. So this is my second game coming into Cleveland here, going up against these Cleveland Cavaliers, who have never been the same since LeBron James has left. But they're 2-6. We're not much better at 5-5. We've had obviously it's still very early in the season, but we've had our chances to win games, just can't finish down the stretch. Hopefully tonight's a little bit different with that. There's my boy Vince Carter, who eventually I will take over for, I hope, at least next year. I think he's probably going to be retired or something. But I'm going to make my own shots, baby, because tonight I'm going off. I just feel it. Nice pass out to the side. Hit that open jumper for 3. Little pick here. Try to give him some space. He can't get by. Throws it to me. KB's going to finish. Don't worry. Boom. Good. So, I haven't played this game a whole lot lately. I've got quite a few recorded on my hard drive because I played the crap out of it when I first got it because it was just so fun. But just been practicing on some Call of Duty, some Medal of Honor stuff, just because Black Ops 2 is on its way very, very shortly. So want to make sure that I don't come into Black Ops 2 and just completely suck, because I don't play Call of Duty as much as I used to in the past. I used to be pretty damn good at it. Usually around a 2.0 KD back when I played it all the time. So I want to try to at least get back to where I can at least aim. I might not be the greatest Call of Duty player anymore, not to say that I ever was, but I don't want to embarrass myself with the with just coming in and not being able to aim or shoot anybody, which would be terrible. So definitely been playing a little bit more of Medal of Honor than I normally would, because it's not the greatest game ever. It's still pretty fun, but I just need to work on getting my aim down, because it's basically the same. You're aiming with the exact same sticks and all that, so that's all I'm really concerned about, is just getting my aim back. But back to the game. I've taken a lot of your guys' suggestions as far as camera angles and the camera flip and adjusting the game minutes, and you'll start seeing some of that stuff happen in later games. Obviously, the first day I recorded probably like 3 or 4 hours worth of footage, so through all those games my settings were exactly the same, and then the more I played and the more I talked to people while I was streaming, and more of your comments that you leave in the comment section below, I start to incorporate some of those settings into my game. And you'll notice that coming up here pretty soon, especially considering, you know, like I said, I recorded a bunch of games at the beginning before I knew anything about the game. So, and I eventually figured out how to dunk. I've had a couple open breaks, as you can see in this game, and had to finish with layups. But we'll change that here pretty soon, because I finally figure out how to do that. And KV finally wins Player of the Game. A little easier when you're not coming off the bench to finally get Player of the Game. Had a pretty good shooting night. I think I had 21 points, 2 assists, I think a rebound or 2. But finally getting some minutes and showing the coach what I can do. And I assume my minutes will go up even more, because if you notice in the first game, I didn't have a ton of minutes. Even though I started, I wasn't on the court all that much, but tonight I was on the court a whole lot more. And with a performance like that, the only thing I can hope for is the coach says, hey man, you're doing a great job, I'm going to give you even more minutes. And that's what I'm going to aim for. Here you can see some more highlights of the game. Some of my awesome shots falling everywhere. Like I said, I'm an outside shooter guy, but with my new dunk package that I finally figured out how to do, pretty soon you're going to be able to see me do some doing some dunks, dunkaroonies. Even though my guy's not the biggest guy, it's tough at the small forward position. Even when I make a guy miss, my guy still will pull up for jumpers, just because any little bit of contact he's not going to finish, just because he's not a big guy. He doesn't have the strength or the size to be able to finish inside as much. But if he's got space and no one's guarding him and he makes a good cut to the basket, he's going to dunk. But all right, guys, here comes the next press conference.
That might have been your best game as a pro. You had your best scoring output ever, so clearly something was clicking. Did this just happen to be a good game, or is this the type of level we're going to see you playing at from here on out?
Well, it was definitely a good game, but I do feel like this is the kind of game I'm capable of playing on a regular basis. I'm working hard at keeping my intensity up and not losing focus for even a second out there. I know that when I do that, this is the type of performance you'll see from me every single time I step on the court.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this week's NBA 2K13 My Career. Off to a very good start. Appreciate all you guys watching, and if you got any suggestions or want to see anything differently, let me know. All right, guys, talk to you later. Peace.